Welcome to Knowledge and Power Series. Your host, Victor Ele-Ojo Itodo.
The heart is not just to guard with levity, to guard with diligence, taking it as a matter of life and death. Guard the heart with carefulness. You guard the heart with long-term effort. Guard the heart with conscientiousness. You guard the heart with determination, and then you guard the heart lastly with perseverance. Hallelujah. So that is what it means to guard the heart with diligence. Why we can't afford to allow anything to enter the heart is that it actually has the ability to accumulate or accommodate any kind of thing. Hallelujah. Because the spirit of life, it can also take the germs of life. Everything we allow into the heart influences the heart, which is the issue of life now. It either influences it, or it contaminates it, or it corrupts it. Hallelujah. So there are two ways to it. It's either it corrupts it, or it makes it better. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Which is the issue of life. That's how the devil is. He might not be powerful against a believer, but trust me, hallelujah, he is very crafty. Paul made us understand that in Ephesians chapter 6. He is very crafty. Alright? Any trust and opportunity given to the flesh can be disastrous, because, now listen very carefully, because the flesh is a faithful servant to the devil. As a matter of fact, the flesh is meat for the devil. God was outlining the consequences of what the serpent did in the Garden of Eden. That you will feed on the dust. Did you hear that? You will feed on the dust. And what is dust? Where was man made from? Man was made out of dust. How that if there is no breath of God in the life of a man, that man is a dead man. Going back to what we were talking about before, how that you can't trust the flesh, because the flesh is the meat for the devil. So you cannot trust the flesh. So anytime you put your confidence in the flesh, you become a meat for the devil. Hallelujah. You can't trust the flesh, because the flesh is a faithful servant of the devil. As a matter of fact, is a meat for the devil. And just as a spirit man is also a faithful partner to the spirit. Hallelujah. The capacity at which you will operate in the spiritual realm will be determined by the level of strength you derive from temptation. To guard the heart, you must be always conscious. The diligence. Are you with me? Consecrations and the things God had told you concerning your walk with Him. Any priest, there are rules. I told us the other time in the last episode that for every priest there are rules for priest. There are things kings don't do. Hallelujah. The same way as a believer, as you walk with God, the day you determine to be serious in your walk with God, God gives you certain things, possibly to discipline you and to keep you on track for the sake of the walk that you have with Him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So there are dealings. Before Samson was given birth, there are things that to his parents that they should not do. This is a Nazarene. He shall not test this. He shall not do this. His hair shall not be that. Hallelujah. Did you say that? The same thing with John the Baptist. Hallelujah. So for any priest, for any king, for any watchman, for any man who must be a guide, for any man who must walk with God, must be conscious of the dealings, consecrations, and rules, things that God has laid down for you. These are what you should do. These are what you should not do. The same thing happened in the Garden of Eden. And God told them, He said, this you can eat, this you can eat, but this you cannot eat. But we see the rebellion of man in the Garden of Eden. We saw the result of what it is. So disobedience leads to what? Leads to rebellion. And rebellion leads to sin. And sin leads to death. Hallelujah. So we need to be very, very careful when we are in our walk with God, to be conscious of the dealings that God has told us. Now the result of that disobedience most times are very, very disastrous. Hallelujah. Anytime God had said, don't do anything at all, He said, don't do. It is a very big risk to do that. Hallelujah. And as you do it, this is what the implication. You have disobeyed. Amen. That's what happened in the Garden of Eden. When it would have done it, they ate it. It means they disobeyed.